What's up, everyone? It's the Tyrant here, and welcome back to my Halo Q&A series, my favorite series where I get to interact with you, my community. We had a lot of great questions this week, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. Our first question comes from Lou, and Lou asked, Q&A, okay, so in the spirit of ODST being so close to release on PC, and it being my personal favorite in the series, since Infinite has a 10-year plan with added content, do you think we could see an expansion where we play as an ODST again? Would it work on a Halo ring the same way if it were to include the visor mode? Or would it return to an urban setting for a more fitting? Could a return to an urban setting be more fitting for it? I gotta be honest with you, I like ODST the way it is. It's one of my favorites too. And I think a return to urban setting would set it apart from what we're going to be playing in Halo Infinite. I love going through New Mombasa. The streets of New Mombasa are one of my favorite hub worlds ever in any video game. I would like to see that expanded upon. I'd like to see elites and brutes fighting each other. I'd like to see the Covenant and the Banish, not the Covenant, but Swords of Sanghelios and the Banish fighting each other. Wouldn't that be cool? Or if it took us back to the time during the main conflict between the humans and the Covenant, we could have skirmishes that way where we see troops in the streets battling the Covenant. I think that would be awesome. That's kind of what I was hoping Halo 2 would be. But we kind of got that in Halo 3 ODST. I would like to see more of that style of game. So I hope that answers your question, and thank you for stopping by, Lou. Our next question comes from Dave Pooh. And Dave asks, Q&A, when Infinite comes out, what difficulty are you going to be playing on first? Legendary. I always like to start out on Legendary because, to be honest with you, you know that I like to play Lazo/Mythic, which is Legendary all skulls on, no saves, no deaths. So I like to jump into the hardest difficulty first before actually ramping it up to Mythic. Well, second hardest difficulty, I should say. In terms of my full campaign and cutscenes run, I plan on playing on Heroic instead of Legendary. You know, I take that back. I might consider playing it on Legendary this time just because, you know, it could be a lot of fun. But we will see. But in terms of what I'll be playing it on first and for the game's introduction, it's going to be on Legendary. But you guys let me know in the comments below what you plan on playing Infinite on first. Easy, normal, heroic, or Legendary. Our next question comes from Stacking Benji's. And Benji's asks, Q&A, 1. I think we will see Arbiter in Infinite, but which Spartan would you like to see in Infinite with Chief the most, possibly even as a playable character? Well, for me, that's going to be Buck, because I love Nathan Fillion. He is completely awesome, and I'd love to see him return. He's actually the character I prefer to play when I'm playing Halo 5 on co-op. I'd like to see Locke return in some shape or form, but I want to see him as more of a lone wolf type character, because I feel like with his background, that would be more fitting than him actually fighting as a team. But that's just my opinion. You guys let me know in the comments below what you think. And this is actually a two-part question. He also asked, the hidden audio of Cortana in Infinite where she says, this is a part of me, I don't know how, I don't know why, but it is me. I've thought that the new Cortana, likely an early copy or something, who's with Chief now, being confused about the rampant version of herself. Thoughts on this theory? I don't know. I think that's a pretty likely theory, that it's a new Cortana. But at the same time, what does that mean for the old Cortana? Are we going to see a clash between the two? Is there, you know, I want to see some sort of redemption arc for Cortana. So that's, sorry. So for me, that, I don't know. I want to see a redemption arc for the main Cortana. You guys let me know in the comments below what you think, though. Our next question comes from Jacob Stubbs, and Jacob asks, Q&A Tyrant, what game modes do you want to see most appear in Halo Infinite's multiplayer? There's really 3 of them. So I definitely want to see Infection return. I want to see Griffball, because Griffball is one of my favorites. And I also want to see Warzone/Warzone Firefight. Those are the modes that I play the most in Halo 5 Guardians, and Infection mode and Griffball have always been my 2 favorites, so I definitely want to see them return as well. You guys let me know in the comments below what you would like to see return. I know a lot of you are big SWAT fans. Team Sniper fans out there, I'm sure. Capture the Flag. That's definitely one of my favorites right there. But you guys let me know in the comments below what you think. Our next question comes from Alien King 1970, my bro. And Alien King asks, great Q&A, MT. Personally, I love Spartan Ops and would love to see it return, being focused on Joe and the main game. I hadn't thought about expansions. That was a great take. Next Q&A, have you thought about writing your own novel or at least a novella? Actually, I have written one. I haven't gotten it published yet. I actually wrote it many years ago. It's 3 parts. It's about 750 pages long, and it takes place in the future. I won't give a whole lot away here because I do want to get it published and have it, you know, out there, and I want people to go into it blind. I don't want to give away too much here, but it's a fairly long book, and it's divided into 3 parts. I wrote one section of it each year, so it took me about 3 years to write. And I would love to get it published so that you guys can read it. But yeah, so I have thought about it. I want to get it published because I also have ideas for the prequel in mind, and it's also going to be 3 parts. So I want to publish both of them, and so hopefully you guys enjoy it. I've written a lot of screenplays as well, especially for those of you who remember Shrine. I just haven't gotten around to filming it yet. Part of it's budgetary reasons. It's just a lot to take in. It's a lot to pay for, and hopefully I'll be able to get to it soon. But in the meantime, yeah, I plan on getting my book published. I'm doing the best I can. If I can't find a publisher, then I'll self-publish, and then I'll start working on the prequel to it. That was an excellent question, my bro. Thank you for stopping by. It's always good to see you. And our final question of the week, our star question, comes from Mark Sicolella. And Mark asked, Tyrant, what do you think Joe Staten can do to save Halo Infinite if fans think it needs saving? Take this position. So this is a complex question because, for one, Halo 5, when I think of Halo 5, I compare it to either The Last Jedi or The Rise of Skywalker, and more towards The Rise of Skywalker in that it should have been 2 games. And just like The Rise of Skywalker probably should have been 2 movies. They crammed a lot in to just a short 2.5-hour movie. Just like Halo 5 crammed a lot into a very short 5 to 6 hour long campaign. You're still active, friend. I always said that Halo 5 should have been Halo 5 featuring the Master Chief and his search for Cortana, and Halo 5 Guardians featuring Locke and Fireteam Osiris, with the Guardian situation evolving. I think what Joe Staten can do is bring a more stable and more streamlined timeline back to the Halo franchise. I don't know how much he can do with the base campaign of Halo Infinite, because I'm pretty sure that's done. I'm pretty sure they've already done the voiceovers, they've written the story. It's a done deal. What he can do is add to the expansions of the game. As I said in the last Q&A, I believe that there are going to be multiple expansions for Halo Infinite if indeed they have this 10-year plan, because you can't just have a base game and a multiplayer and expect it to last for 10 years. I mean, look at Halo 5. By the time Halo Infinite releases, it'll have been about 5.5 to 6 years since the last mainstream Halo game. And I don't really count Halo Wars 2. As much as I love Halo Wars 2, I don't consider it to be a main Halo game. I consider it to be a side story. A great side story, but a side story nonetheless. And it's not a FPS either. Now, what I think Mr. Staten could do is add to those expansions, and maybe those expansions could help fill in the gaps that we have between Halo 4 and Halo 5, as well as Halo 5 and Halo Infinite, if we're going to be jumping straight into Zeta Halo. That's what I'm thinking right there. I'm hoping we have multiple expansions, kind of like with World of Warcraft, where they have an expansion every couple of years. I could easily see that happening with Halo Infinite, just having short little campaigns similar to Halo 3 ODST, but taking place in multiple points of the Halo universe. And if anyone can pull that off, it's going to be Joe Staten. And so that's what I think he could do to save Halo Infinite. I think that he could bring a lot of streamline and stability to the Halo franchise, bringing it back from his vision back when he was at Bungie. And bringing him back would be absolutely phenomenal. The only piece we're missing now is Marty O'Donnell. Maybe we'll see him too. But I hope that answers your question. And you guys let me know in the comments below what you think Joe could bring back to the Halo franchise. I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. And remember, if you want to ask a question for the next Q&A, include that in the comment section below as well. And I'd like to take a moment to thank each and every one of you for taking the time out of your busy day to sit down and watch this video. I really do hope that you enjoyed it. And if you did, I hope you consider subscribing for more great content right here on the channel. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all have an absolutely wonderful week. I'll catch you all right back here next time. And as always, I'm the Tyrant, signing off.